continued with the day one, that unfinished task, and goes into day two. So the magic troop's old address. The assistant here is a middle-aged man. He is wearing the magic troop's uniform. It's as if he is ready to be on stage at any moment. He quickly sets out when he sees you both. As he does this, he almost loses his footing. Artem immediately steps forward to help him and accidentally knocks over some beer bottles beside him. The sound of the bottles appear to somehow wake the assistant, and he is now more aware of his surroundings. He greets you and motions for you to take a seat. What do you want to know? Hurry up and ask. I've got plans to drink with my friends. We'll be quick about it. How many members were there in the magic troupe back then? Well, we had several magicians, each performing a different kind of magic. There were actually more than 10 involved, including magicians, prop masters, assistants, etc. Can we get an exact number? The old assistant relaxed against the back of his chair, closing his eyes and thinking for a while. Magic troops went on tour everywhere. There was a lot of turnover. I can hardly remember since so many years have passed. How was the magic troupe doing then, with so many mouths to feed? Well, it had always been mediocre before. Since Emmanuel Parker developed the human escape trick, we've been gradually doing better. You know, people were calling him a genius magician. He became famous, and the number of people who came to see the performance slowly increased. So you had a pretty quick crowd after that. Well, whenever there was an Emmanuel Parker performance, the theater would sell out. And that's how Emmanuel Parker became the pillar of our magic troupe. Then why did the magic troupe disband? Well, it was Well's meeting room. The call ends with no one answering the other end of the line. The name of Mr. Parker disappears as the phone screen goes black. Mr. Parker must be busy again. He isn't answering my call. You found something interesting while following the clues with the post-it. Yet when you try to talk to Emmanuel as his lawyer, he always seems disinterested. It's always either something like, I'm busy, let's talk about it later, or I have nothing to do with what you just said. Tuesday Magic Troupe's assistant did call you back a few times though. But as an assistant, her information is really limited and she is unable to be of much help. Forget it, I'll get a chance to talk to Mr. Parker later.
그럼 지금까지 얻은 단서를 되짚어 볼까요?
Luke takes the initiative to change the subject. You know the law. Let's see, where do we start? We followed along with Wither's clues and went to the former address of Emmanuel Parker's magic troupe and did some digging.
그리고 오래된 건물에서 당시 마술단의 단체 사진을 찾았죠. 사진상 반우재 씨가 가운데 있던 걸 보면 당시 마술단에서 중요한 역할이었을 거예요.
네, 옛 신문이랑 잡지에서도 반우재 씨의 기사를 흔히 찾아볼 수 있었어요. 마술을 시작했을 때부터 탈출 마술과 극단적인 마술을 연구했죠.
그때 반우재 씨는 홀로 무대에 서지 않고 조윤호라는 조수가 옆에서 도왔어요.
Unfortunately, the assistant died in an accident during a performance.
당시 여론 반응이 매우 컸어요. 많은 추측이 난무했죠. 탈출 마술은 위험해서 처음부터 취소했어야 한다는 사람도 있었고, 마술사의 조작 실수였다는 말도 있었어요.
There were even rumors that he had deliberately used unsafe magic props just for the fame. And it was those unsafe props that caused the accident.
나중에 마술단은 경영난으로 해산됐고, 반우재 씨도 마술단을 떠나 홀로 서기를 했죠. 그곳은 텅 빈 오랜 집과 옛 생각에 떠나지 못한 조수뿐이었어요.
근데 이 모든 게 다 반우재 씨에게는 일종의 기회였죠. 그 사고로 매체의 이목이 집중됐고 오히려 더 유명해졌어요.
반우재 씨 혼자만 유명한 마술사가 되어 명예와 부를 독차지했네요.
That's all the information we can deduce through withers leads up to this point. All the leads points to Parker, and he does seem to be hiding something.
그 무언가가 바로 위더가 대중에게 공개하고 싶어 안달난 내용이겠죠.
위더가 네티즌을 유인해 과거를 캐내는 목적은 뭘까요? 반우재 씨의 흑역사를 찾으려고? 아니면 그 사람한테 정말 말할 수 없는 비밀이라도 있는 걸까요?
지금 반우재 씨의 태도도 수상해요. 협조를 거부할수록 뭔가 숨기는 것 같아요.
So I think look into Emmanuel Parker. Maybe we should do some follow-up research and gather as much information related to Mr. Parker as possible. It may help us better understand Wither's true intention for the whole setup.
같은 생각이에요. 의문점이 너무 많은 사람이에요.
맞아요. 내 직감이 반우재 씨한테 말할 수 없는 비밀이 있다고 말하고 있어요.
Good, so that's it. We will continue to track Wither for now. Everyone knows Arthur takes out his phone and messages the plan to Captain Morgan. Around 10 minutes later, you get a response from Captain Morgan.
경찰 측도 새로운 발견은 없다는군요. 엄 반장님은 우리가 지금 상태를 유지하면서 기존 방식대로 조사를 이어가길 바라고 있습니다.
지금 사이트에 있는 정보는 이미 조사가 끝났다는 게 문제인데
위더가 계속 새로운 단서를 올릴지 인내심을 갖고 며칠 더 기다리는 수밖에 없겠네요.
올릴 겁니다. 자칭 뛰어난 사냥꾼은 언제나 적당한 시기에 미끼를 던지는 법이죠. 사냥감인 우리는 인내심 있게 기다리면 돼요.
Alright, so if I review. The post on the Magic Forum from the mysterious poster Wither seems to be referring to an accident that happened to the magic troupe where Emmanuel Parker worked before he became famous. Emmanuel Parker's assistant Ada Bridge died in an accident when assisting Emmanuel Parker to perform some magic Hi everyone, with the poster again. Right after I finished a meeting with the board, great timing. Mr. Wayne, what did Peter see this time? He basically judged Emmanuel Parker's character from a personal and subjective point of view. Apart from that, there was some speculation about certain of Emmanuel Parker's behavior. Emmanuel Parker is very proud of his reputation as a so-called hero, thus making him extremely self-opinionated and bossy. Anyone who's worked with him has had a problem with him, and his attitude towards everyone was pretty bad. Above all, the statement quoted from Leader's post. We agreed earlier that the investigation should focus on Emmanuel Parker. Leader's post just happened to provide us with some new ideas. Yes, but he mentioned overlaps with a lot of information we learned from the magic true system. Wither has targeted him so forcefully. It seems like we made the right choice in deciding to investigate Emmanuel Parker, but like we were saying, Wither's account is too subjective to be fully credible. Wither stated in the post that he has proof for everyone he sees. I saw that he also shared the coordinate of the evidence is in the amusement parks database. The post caused an uproar online. Legions of nosy people are looking into it all based on Wither's post. If too many people get involved, it will definitely disrupt the pace of our investigation, and things are likely to get further off hand. To avoid getting avoid things getting worse, let's meet up at the amusement park right now. Okay, I've contacted the amusement park. We can go there to investigate at any time. I happen to have a case to the amusement park. I'll see you there right after I'm done. Cool, I don't have any plans for today, so I will be heading there soon. See you there, everyone. So let's go to the amusement park after this. After arriving at the amusement park and getting permission from the management, you enter the file room. It's dimmer than you expect. The computer screen is basically the only light source in the whole room. As you look around, a man in an employee uniform walks into the room and greets you. Hello there, I'm the administrator of the amusement park. Hello, we are here to... Before you can finish speaking, the administrator enthusiastically answers for you. I know you are here to investigate Emmanuel Parker's case. I will do what I can to help. Feel free to check anything, cabinets, drawers, shelves, etc. And the computers, feel free to use it if you want to look up something. The administrator is more cooperative than you could have ever imagined. Okay, thank you. Don't mention it. Come to me if you have any questions. He's gone in a flash and you haven't even had a chance to say thank you. He's so nice. Yeah. Too nice. Okay, so let's look up the clue. Complete the flowers. Okay. So what is the task? So let's illustrate. What kind of flowers should I buy? Hey, aren't you the gentleman who lost the winter magic festival ticket? You are the lady who helped me find the ticket. Hello again. I'm thinking of getting flowers for someone. Any advice you could offer? Well, who are you going to? Emmanuel Parker, of course. He was injured during prior performance and we fans want to send him our best wishes. But he doesn't take visitors, so we want to buy him a bouquet of flowers to show our support for him. The lady recommended gladiolus or carnations, and I'm a bit torn over which ones to get. Let's see. Gladiolus. How about gladiolus? Gladiolus are supposed to bring good health. Plus, it's the flower of Stelis. It represents your wish for his speedy recovery. What do you think? Makes sense. Gladiolus is his fan. Thank you. You've done me another big favor. You're welcome. I'm glad I could help. Is that it? I'm happy. Clear 5 analytical reasoning. 5 analytical reasoning, is this it? Yeah, 25, 800. Wait. I don't have enough energy drink. Yeah, it's okay. Crisis intervention. Yeah, this twisting. Yeah, I wait, I think I'm done. I should use, oh my god, yeah, I should use. So who is it again? Yeah, I'm dumb. Barris and Vin. 7. Yeah, I'm freaking dumb. I should do this. Yeah, this one well done before the finishing the task. So I guess we get 4. Yeah, this one. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, whatever. So we only get 4 this time. Seriously. Yeah, whatever. Okay, cooperative magic. Amusement park database. Mr. Wayne, do you think the assistant mentioned in the clue could be Aiden Bridge? It's possible, but we would need solid evidence to support it. How about we go through the trip's performance record? There must be something about it. The performance records, according to the labels on the cabinet, it got to be in this one. Arthur crouches down to open the cabinet at the bottom. The performance from, according to the labels on the cabinet, it's got to be in this one. Wait, how are we supposed to find it? It's just like when we study a case. This is nothing compared to the number of case files we have to go through. Mr. Wing has such a unique way of comforting people. With this thought in your mind, you start to look through the records with him. These records of the Magic Strip's performance. Mr. Wing, have a look. The sheet includes a record of the time for each performance, the number of audience members, and the specific content of the performance. Emily Parker and Eden Bridge always appear together in the performer column. They did so many performances together. Yes, although they sometimes perform separately, the Great Escape was always one they did together. Also, their collaborative performances were the most popular among the audience. You nod your hand and point to Aiden Bridges' name in the performance column. traits. The focus is always on the magician who succeeds in escaping. His assistant is pretty much neglected. The magician's performance is always exciting and dazzling, while the assistant's contribution is eclipsed. But in reality, the work of an assistant is very important. In fact, it's essential because the assistant needs to memorize the whole process very well. This is to ensure that the assistant can fix the magic show as soon as something starts to go wrong. In other words, Amanda Parker relied on Eden Bridge for his safety. This showed the trust he had in Eden Bridge. So just like Wither said, Eden Bridge was indeed a very important assistant. Mr. Wayne, shouldn't Emmanuel Parker be actually sad that he lost his partner? Hard to say. I'm not Emmanuel Parker. What makes you see that? I mean, I wouldn't put my partner in such a dangerous situation ever. Me neither. I just hope I can soon become a person that stands and fight along by your side. Based on Wither's latest post, you and Vin head to the amusement park office. You're trying to seek the administrator's help. Upon seeing you, the administrator enthusiastically strikes up a conversation. Hello, I have been waiting for you here in case you couldn't find the information you were after. How is the case going? Is there anything I can help you with? Yes, there are some questions I wanted to ask you. Do you remember the magic troupe that performed here 15 years ago? Well, that was before I started working here, but I do know something that may help you. The administrator words give you hope, just as you are beginning to think that you will end up going back empty-handed. The members of the troupe had the habit of keeping records. Records? Yes, like a summary of the day's work and other details. After searching through the cabinet to his right for a while, he finally finds a thick file bag and hands it to you. Here we go, have a look, see if there's anything useful in it. He leaves just as you're about to thank him. You and Vin each take responsibility for half of the record and begin reading through everything page by page. The journal I found is mainly written by the prop masters and magicians of the magic troupe. The journal not only records what they encountered at work but also includes comments about their colleague. Several people had a similar view of Emmanuel Parker. They said that he was condescending, aloof, and hard to approach. Other than his magic act, they had nothing good to say about him. Only a magician by the name of Camilo Collins wrote that Emmanuel Parker is not as aloof as he seems. Is his comment similar to this one? Emmanuel Parker typically wears a cool expressions. Any magician who makes any small mistake in the magic show had to endure his harsh reproaches. But he is not as strict as he appears. Parker remembers everyone's birthday and is patient in teaching new magicians simple magic tricks. Yes, that's pretty similar. But Camilla comments have a pejorative tone, unlike the positive comments you read. What I just read was Aiden Bridge thoughts on Emmanuel Parker. Vin gently touched the logbook with his hand, his lips curving into a smile. It's interesting that this part of the journal has almost the same comment about Emmanuel Parker as the part you have. Eden Bridge is the only one who has a completely positive opinion of Emmanuel Parker. He thinks of him as a mentor and a friend. Based on your previous influence, Eden Bridge and Emmanuel Parker had a good relationship, so that makes sense. But why are the reviews so polarized? Some people build up a cool and harsh outer shell for self-protection, but in reality they are actually warm and in kind of inside. Others are likely to misunderstand them and if they are not close to them. Perhaps Emmanuel Parker is such a person. Vin flips through the unread journal and gently frowns at the thick stack of papers. There are a lot of these things. Trying to finish reading them here might be a little difficult. Hey, you think the administrator might let us take these logs back to study? We can try. The administrator was quite enthusiastic with us just now. I think he will agree if we explain the situation to him. Then why don't we try it together? If we can take them back for a closer look, we might find more clues. Okay, I'll go with you to the administrator. Okay. That is all, I guess. Okay, tourist reviews. After walking into the far room, you and Luke begin searching for information related to the magic troupe. Your soft files cover the entire desktop. This is a lot. It's gonna take hours just to read them all. Shara, which part should we start with? How about we start with the troupe's performance record and audience review? The assistant didn't mention this part. Okay, let's go with your plan. In no time, Luke found a large number of feedback forms. Luke has always been so proactive. These are feedback from the audience about the magic troupe. We should be able to put together the audience opinion with this. Let's get started. This is a mistake. There are far more than I expected. After working for a long time, the unsorted questionnaire remained piled as high as a small mountain on the table. It's impossible for the two of you to go through all of them in one day. Let's try something else. We'll take out his tablet from the bag by his side. I will put all the questionnaire into the computer by extracting the text. Then I'll write a script to categorize and count some keywords. That way we only need to look at the final summary table. Wow, impressive! Luke smiled shyly while scratching his head, then he gets down to work. An hour later, Luke has extracted all the information into the computer and the final result have been generated. Here it is, the audience comment on the magic troupe performance. Amanda Parker was mentioned 7,256 times and the Great Escape was mentioned 15,680 times. The magic troupe had a 98 positive rating. So the assistant was just being modest by saying that the magic troupe was doing okay. Eden Bridge was also mentioned quite a lot. Although he didn't have a signature act like Amanda Parker's Great Escape, he was also heavily recognized. That means looking at the numbers on the screen, a thought pops into your head. Amanda Parker is not as headstrong as Withers is. Otherwise, he would never allow Eden Bridge to have such popularity. He would have quietly undermined him. Yeah, I think you're right. Firstly, they were partners for many years, so their tacit understanding and trust would naturally be unmatched. Secondly, Eden Bridge's own magic is also excellent and his popularity is high, yet he was still willing to play a role as an assistant in the escape magic. This might also indicate that his relationship with Amanda Parker was quite good, otherwise he would just do things on his own, right? Yeah, after all, the escape magic was the best part of the magic troupe's act. Yet Eden Bridge was willing to be Amanda Parker's assistant all the time, so their relationship was perhaps even better than we thought. But if it was as we suspect, then many of Withers' words were incorrect. At the end of the day, he still thinks that Amanda Parker should feel guilty about Eden Bridge. Indeed, the more we investigate the whole affair, the more we feel that Withers' words were incorrect. Look, what should we do next? I've said the compile data. Why don't we go over the available information with everyone first? Okay, let's pack up and go back. The improved version of the Great Escape? What is this? Does it have anything to do with the case? If we don't mention it, then it will likely is related. But the thing is, we didn't find anything about the improved version of the Great Escape in our previous investigations. Why don't we ask the administrator? Maybe he knows something? Sure, that's our best option for now. You soon find the administrator. Hello. Hi, are you here to ask about the modification of the Great Escape? Huh? How did you know that? Seeing your surprised face, he scratches his head with an embarrassed smile. Well, I didn't mean to eavesdrop on your conversation. I just accidentally overheard a little bit, and I think I know something about what you were talking about. Huh? He inhales slowly and smiles. He obviously a bit proud. I accidentally overheard about it when I was a child. Hey, it's not true that I like to eavesdrop on others since childhood. Anyway, my dad used to work with Emmanuel Parker in the same magic troupe 15 years ago. One time when I went to see my dad, I accidentally bumped into him talking someone about the new version of The Great Escape. Do you remember who he was talking to? Well, I think it was his assistant named Eden Bridge. Can't you recall? Can you recall the details of the conversation? I can't remember it perfectly. After all, I was very young at the time. I didn't really understand much of what they said. The only thing I remember is that they were both quite emotional. I think they were arguing. Eden Bridge said some things outdated and not appealing to the audience. Emmanuel Parker said, "It's none of your business and it's my call." But again, they argued a lot. They've had uglier arguments before, so it was nothing special. Okay, thank you. I appreciate it. That's all you wanted to ask me. My old man told me to be more detailed, but they didn't even seem to want to know much. The administrator mutters in a low voice before leaving. Why is Wither telling us about the conflict between Eden Bridge and Emmanuel Parker through the administrator, as well as the so-called new version of The Great Escape? Mr. Wing, what do you think Wither is up to? It's too early to draw conclusion, but I'm sure he has more in store for us. True, let's go and check out somewhere else. Okay, that is all for today. So I guess, bye-bye!